welcome to the studio. I'm really excited today to just pick your brain and get to hear more about the impact you're creating in the lives of those you're serving with Max Performance Coaching. For those that are not familiar, for those watching this, hearing about you for the first time, can you give me a little bit of an introduction to who you are, what you do, and what Max Performance Coaching is all about?
Yeah, so my name's Max. I'm 26 years old. I'm the founder of Max Performance Coaching. Recently left my full-time job to start basically pursuing what I love, which is helping people overcome their own personal kind of like problems, issues that they face on a day-to-day basis, and to overcome that barrier between where they are now and who they want to be from like a health and lifestyle perspective. Like for me, I've been training now for the last 10 plus years. Fell in love with it immediately, and like I came from quite a dark, negative place myself. Like not knowing what to do in terms of like training style, not knowing what kind of foods were best for me to eat in order to achieve what I wanted to achieve. And I've kind of devoted my life, so to speak, to developing that craft, and to help other people overcome their own kind of like barriers, so they can learn from the mistakes that I've already made, to achieve, like I say, what they want to achieve.
Awesome, man. And tell me a little bit more about some of the clients that you're helping right now.
So for the majority of the clients that are coming on board in the program, they have a full-on job or career that they're currently pursuing, probably pulling 10 to 15 hour days, Monday to Friday, sometimes even on the weekends as well. Some of that will involve travel, whereby for them, they're not home a lot. And the times where they are home, they're not feeling energetic, they're not feeling present, they've potentially got a relationship there, they've potentially got kids at home as well, and they're struggling to be present for them. Like their work's probably going really, really good, and business is thriving, but for them, they're barely surviving in terms of on a day-to-day basis. When they go home, they haven't got the energy, they don't feel present, they don't want to be doing anything with their family in terms of going out, going for dinners, going for like spending days out, etc., because they're just burnt out. So when they come to me, it's very much normally the case that they're looking to bridge that gap between their work and their home life, and that starts with them in terms of them identifying what the problems are, whether that be they're not eating right, they're not moving enough, potentially not drinking enough water, and ultimately they've compromised their own health for the benefit of their career or their business, which has actually been at a detriment to their own personal health, their own personal well-being at home. So for a lot of people that are coming on board in that program, they're stuck and they need help to make that change. And we normally look at, there's three things that we normally look at with regards to that. It's mindset, it's training, and nutrition. And once we've got all three of those barriers down and we've addressed all three of those areas, it's a recipe for success.
Amazing, man. And what's some of the results that typically clients are achieving through working with you?
So one of my clients, when he came on board, was weighing like 105 kilos. In the space of 12 weeks, he lost 3 stone. For him, one of the goals that he set out was one of his biggest dreams has been able to pull himself into a pull-up position. Never thought it'd be possible. And we even addressed that on the call. And it's like, I even said to him, like, what would you want to achieve within that 12-week window? And the first thing he said to me was like, I don't think it's going to be achievable, but I'd love to be able to pull my own body weight above a pull-up bar. And I said to him, well, why are you already doubting yourself about achieving that? And he couldn't give me an answer to that. And it's like, that again comes back to one of the main things that we look at, which is mindset. As soon as you start thinking that thing is possible and you start working towards that, anything is achievable. And like I said, he's lost 3 stone. Literally the other week, he's still PTing with me at the moment. He achieved 5 unbroken strict pull-ups, full lockout at the bottom and chin over the bar. And like I said, he only set out to achieve one of those. So again, anything is possible if you have the right guidance. We kept him accountable throughout the entire program, checking in with him weekly, training with him weekly. We worked on his nutrition, gave him a plan that not only was something that he could follow, that worked around his lifestyle and his day-to-day demands, but also was enjoyable, because essentially this 12-week program is not just for 12 weeks, it's for the remainder of his life. He now knows what he needs to do on a day-to-day basis to maintain those consistent goals. And And like I said, we're even now continuing to work together to achieve even bigger things that he's now looking at, which he wouldn't even thought was possible at the beginning of that 12 weeks.
Amazing. What would you say to someone who's found themselves in a difficult spot? Like you said, a lot of your clients and, you know, people that come to you are working 10, 15-hour days. So, you know, maybe someone who's not in a good place. They're working hard, putting all the time and effort into the business or the career, and they're feeling the weight of that. Maybe their family's feeling the weight of that. What advice would you give them? Like, what words of wisdom would you impart onto them now, just to, like, I don't know, help them steer them in the right direction?
So the first thing I would say was the most important thing is accepting where you are and being true to that. It's all too easy to be able to ignore what needs to be done. Everyone could wish to achieve that body that they want to achieve. Everyone wants to be successful, whether that be inside the gym environment, outside the gym environment, inside work, etc. But the difference between someone that wants that or wishes for that and actually goes and does it is about having a plan. So that would be my first thing, is accepting and looking at where you are now, having a vision of where you want to go, and ultimately forming small steps and taking small steps to achieve that, and reaching out to someone like myself who can help them stay accountable whilst on that journey, because it's so easy to slip away. As soon as it becomes something that you don't consistently prioritize, it's also easy to be able to come back from a 10-hour day and being like, oh, I'll start tomorrow. That tomorrow turns into a week. That week turns into a month. And before you know it, you're looking at a year in the rearview mirror and nothing's changed. So that would be my first thing, is accepting where you are now, having an honest conversation with yourself, and addressing what needs to happen in order to make those changes.
Is there anything else that you'd like to further share that you think could be valuable for those that are in that situation of looking for help?
Yeah, so here at NPC, we look for 4 key values within a person that, again, these can be trained, these can be developed. You're not just born with them. So the first one is acceptance, like we've already just spoken about. You need to be able to look at yourself and accept the situation that you're in. If you can't accept where you are right now, ultimately you're walking blind, because essentially you're ignoring what the problem is. So accepting the problem and accepting the fact that you've allowed yourself to get into this position, that's the first step. The next step is being open. So when we jump on a call with someone, the first thing that we get them to do is to be open to changes. Openness to change is scary, 100%. When you're falling into a routine and you're falling into habits, it can be really, really difficult, not only mentally, but also physically, to make those changes. But being open to that change is where the gravy is, 100%. And doing those things in small, manageable steps. Don't need to make radical changes straight from the get-go, but small, manageable steps is the way forwards. The next way that or the next core value that we look at is being determined to achieve those. And again, we install that within the clients that I work with by holding them to account, by speaking to them on a weekly basis, by making sure that they're training effectively, they're eating the right stuff, tracking the nutrition, etc., and essentially making sure that it's going to be impossible for them to fail. And that brings me on to the 4th core value, which is accountable. Like, for the people that we work with, we want them to be turning up. We want them to be every day turning up, making sure that they're pushing towards the goals that they want to achieve. And like I've just spoken about, we do that by speaking to them on a weekly, daily basis, ensuring that they're feeling good, the energy's there. And if it's not, okay, what can we do to address that, to make sure that we are moving in the right direction?
Awesome. Awesome, man. Lastly, where can people go to find out more about you?
So we're all over social media. So we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook and LinkedIn. We've also got a website as well, Max Performance Coaching. But anyone can reach out to us by dropping me a personal message. We can jump on a call. We can discuss where you guys are at now, and where you want to go, and form a plan in order to get you there.